Right, so a bit of a rethink. I've been on a loop with the BSA Owners Club and the DVLA, and not surprisingly, the BSA Owners Club, well, and the DVLA rules say that you must have all the major parts of the original manufacturer, including the wheels. So the Owners Club won't give me an age-related certificate for the front wheel because it's a non-standard hub. And that's confirmed by the DVLA. So I thought I would just register it on a Q plate, but I hadn't appreciated that that means I've got to get it MOT'd and go through all that process as a new machine. So I've bitten the bullet and found a BSA hub. So I had to go to the States to get this in the end, but it is at least a conical hub. I deliberately went for the single leading shoe, just 'cause I think the twin leading shoe just looks a bit sort of clumsy and cumbersome. I guess it performs better, but it's more finicky, it strikes me, with the adjustment and so on. And so in this particular sort of style that the previous owner's gone for, sort of MX style, I'm going to go for a single leading shoe hub. I'll keep this wheel anyway, so I can always put it back on, but the plan at the moment is to just sort of refurbish this a bit. It actually looks pretty good, or at least not too bad. So I'll get this put into a 21-inch front wheel, which is what the existing one is, so I can reuse that same tyre, and hope that that's okay in terms of the age-related certification and registration. So this is where the hub came from. BSA unit singles in the USA, Jeffrey, New Hampshire. So I'll whip this apart just to see what's inside and clean up the aluminium and get it off to be relaced, probably stainless spokes and a stainless rim. Central Wheel Company are right down the road from me. It's a few miles away, so I'll take it down there and see what they say. So this is this sort of instrument finish crackle black. Not sure whether I'll be able to reproduce that, or whether I should just clean it up a bit. There's a bit of dirt on it, but I mean there it's pretty good. So I'm not trying to get this sort of restored to factory condition. So a bit of age doesn't bother me too much. Anyway, I'll take it apart and see what's inside for a start. So I should have read the instructions, shouldn't I? Looked at the manual. There's obviously a circlip in there. Let's get the back plate off first, which must be this nut here. Oh, there we go. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. Not too bad anyway. That lever is very stiff. So I guess it's bound up in the back plate with old grease. Bit dirty. Oh, actually, a leaf in there. So this has come from the States, so I guess it's an American leaf. Probably a biohazard. Still, the shoes actually look pretty good in terms of the thickness of the lining. Riveted on. Doesn't look too bad. Got a more conventional arrangement on this end of the the pivot end of the shoes. So I was quite surprised at the rear one that just has a flat end on this side. still. Okay, so not much wrong with that. It's all tight and unworn. That's good. So this is really stiff, so let's just get that out. There's no grease nipple on this one. On the back there was a grease nipple. Yeah, I think that's fine. It is just gummed up with old grease. I'll clean everything up. Don't think I need to take that off, because that's the torque arm, isn't it? Yeah, that'll clean up nicely. This might do a nice blunt. I think it used to be a screwdriver, I think. Shouldn't do too much damage. I assume it's the left-hand thread. Sorry, right-hand thread. That's okay. It feels as if it's tightening up. In fact, it was tightening up, so it's a left-hand thread. Okay, so good opportunity to try these new circuit pliers. There you go, can't beat the right tools. So presumably that will knock out this way. That's gone hard. Is that because this is caught on a lip? I'm assuming this is just some kind of shield. Not sure what this sort of residue is. Looks like something deliberate rather than just dirt. Strange, really. Some kind of putty type material, perhaps. Or just old grease. Try that again. No, that's not right. No good, I'm going to have to read the book. Again, this has got the same sort of pale coloured gunge on it. There's some kind of thread locker, or just grease. I think maybe it is just greased. Right, so I've read the manual, and it does just knock out from each side, basically. So there we go. Ooh, it is grease. Some kind of weird pale grease. Actually, it's still liquid, just gone like a sort of putty outside the bearings. So, bearing, grease shield. This is the right hand side, isn't it? Yeah. Not too bad. I'm hoping that the new bearings will be fully sealed anyway. That's just a fixed shoulder, I think. And a bit of moisture in this one, looks like it. Okay, so not too bad. Give that a good clean. So this bearing should just knock out this way, which is what I was trying to do before. For some reason it wasn't going. Must just be a bit sticky, I think. So do I use this or a socket? I think I'll try a socket. Okay, and there's the second circlip on the right hand side. I might as well take that as well, I guess. So are these the same? No, they're not. So this is the right hand one. Better make a note of that. I find this grease really intriguing. It doesn't seem to dissolve in paraffin. I'm trying to clean it up. So I can't think what it can be. It's some kind of silicon or something. Doesn't seem very likely, does it? It's definitely a funny colour and a bit strange. You see there, for instance, it's sort of turned into a kind of putty. Right, so I've a nice big socket, which is a reasonable fit in there. It's a bit sloppy, but it'll do for now. Let's see if I can move this thing. Surely that's going to move it. I think it has. Yeah, it is moving now. That's a relief. Starting to wonder what was going on. Yeah. Let's make a bit of space for it to come through. Ooh. Okay, so the dust, or the grease retainer is coming out. So why was that so tight? I can only think the grease retainer was catching on the slot of the circlip, or the circlip slot. But I think we're home and dry now. Right. There's nothing obviously wrong with that. Actually, maybe there is. The slot does look as if it's going to bird over there. Yeah, does seem to be some damage just there. You probably can't see it on the camera, but yeah, it's retrievable. I can just scrape that out with a sharp chisel type tool. A bit of a notch there as well. Just need to get that circlip fitting properly. That'll be fine. Just age, I think. And maybe I was unlucky to pick up a burr on the edge of the grease retainer that's just caught that slot and grabbed onto it on its way out. Otherwise, it doesn't look too bad. There's no obviously cracks or anything nasty. Just the finish is a bit rough in the sense that the silver paint has peeled off here and there. All this corrosion bubbling through it. Not sure what to do. I think perhaps I'll try and get some paint. Mask off the drum. The drum itself, by the way, looks okay. There is a slight ridge on the outer edge of the drum where the shoe doesn't run. But again, not too bad. If I get the wheel rebuilt, I'm going to check the alignment and maybe skim the drum if it needs it. So yeah, on the paint, I think I'll just rub it down and respray it. I think it's worth doing that. I could just leave it as it is, but I think it is far enough gone to make it worthwhile. So from the left hand side, this inner grease retainer is slightly knackered, but still usable. The outer retainer is fine, good as new. I'll just clean out the old grease and clean it up, but that's certainly reusable. So the brake shoes are cleaned up okay. They seem to be free of cracks. I've looked at them pretty closely. There's no cracks around the rivet holes. Bit of wear on the cam end, but it's pretty flat actually. There's just a sort of witness mark there. Same on the other side. Again, no cracks. There's actually quite a lot of material left on the lines as well, but I think I'm going to send them off to Villiers Services, which is in the Black Country, west of Birmingham. I've used them before. In fact, they rebuilt the engine on the Greaves, my Greaves Trials bike. The only time I've ever had an engine built by somebody else, or rebuilt by somebody else. So the back plate is cleaned up pretty well. Still a bit damp with paraffin. I think I'll leave that as it is because this finish is quite difficult to reproduce. So I think I'll leave that. This cam now rotates freely, so it was just gummed up with old grease. That's absolutely fine. That's very nice and tight actually. There's no movement at all that I can feel. So brilliant. part number on there, 373704. L, not the L means. Could be the manufacturer, I guess. So that's good. Okay, so that's rubbed down. Made up a cardboard disc just to blank off the drum itself. So yeah, let's give it a spray. Right, it's going to wind this up now, I think. I've cleaned this up. I've painted it now with 3 coats of paint. I realise now that as it's painted, these lines in the casting, it's obviously been die cast. They show up quite clearly now. So I was thinking maybe I should have rubbed them down so they're smooth, but there again, it's certainly more original looking that way. They obviously didn't smooth them down when they produced them originally. Backplate's all cleaned up, ready to go. New bearings arrived today, and they are properly sealed for life this time, which I went for especially. So I took the old ones away. Springs are okay, reusable. Arms okay. Retaining nuts, washer's okay. So cam is fine. These arrived as well. 7/16 UNF bolts that'll do for the torque arm at the other end. I need one of those nut. And I'll find some washers somewhere from stock. It's a stainless socket head. Couldn't find a bolt, but the right length anyway. So yeah, that's all do. The shoes have gone off to Villiers Services to be relined, so they should come back before Christmas hopefully. It's now the 18th of December. So plan now is to take this down to Central Wheel Company in Coleshill and see what they say about putting a rim on it and lacing it up with some stainless spokes. So hopefully that can be done shortly after Christmas and I can put the whole thing back together. Right. Thanks for watching.